equity. We are discussing the balance sheet, and equity is an important role in the balance sheet. The funds provided in business by the owners is called equity. Equity represents the ownership rights. In company, there are also shares, and shares are two types of share: ordinary shares and preference shares. Preference shares carry the right of preferential treatment in regard to payment of dividends over ordinary shares. Another type of preference shares may be redeemable, and it may be redeemable, it may be irredeemable. Redeemable preference shares are the one which are paid back after a stipulated period. The preference shares which are not redeemable are known as redeemable preference shares. In case of a company, there will be certain additional items shown in the balance sheet. We are discussing the balance sheet, the different items of the balance sheet. These are as following. One is authorized capital. This represents the total amount of capital which the company can raise through issue of shares. This amount is specified in the memorandum of articles of association. Another system of capital is known as issued capital. Issued capital is total number of shares issued by a company so far. Issued capital is usually less than authorized capital. Then another term, subscribed capital, that is also shown in the balance sheet. When shares are issued to the public, the total number of shares taken up by the various shareholders is referred as subscribed capital. Then paid up capital. The applicant for shares issued by a company may not be required to pay the entire amount at the time of application. The company may ask to pay in different installments. The actual amount of money which has been paid by the shareholders is called paid up capital. Then the next item in the balance sheet, we will see the reserves and surplus. Reserve and surplus are profits which have been retained in the firm. There are two types of reserves: revenue reserves and capital reserves. Revenue reserves represent accumulated retained earnings from the profit of not of the profit of the normal business operations. Then capital reserve, when the assets of a company are revalued to a higher value then than the present set book value. Difference between them is a notional gain and shown as revaluation resource. Revaluation reserve is capital reserve. A company is prohibited to pay dividends from the capital reserve. Then we'll see another thing, that is share premium account. When the shares of a profitable company are offered to public, the company may decide to offer the shares at a price higher than par value. Par means equal, par value. Also, at times, the shares may be issued at discounted rates. The shares, when offered at premium, the amount of premium collected is shown in a premium account. Dividend cannot be paid from this reserve. Then another thing in the balance sheet we'll see, that is general reserve. The total earnings of a company after deducting dividends paid out and any losses suffered is called retained earnings. Retained earnings can be appropriated to create reserves for such things as future declines in inventory value, future plant expansion, sinking fund reserve or retained earnings are not transferred to any specific reserve account is appropriated to general reserve. In other words, undistributed profit not required to be transferred to any specific reserve account is usually accumulated in the general reserve account. So these are the different terms of the balance sheet. Now we will analyze the balance sheet. Let us discuss the analysis of balance sheet. Analysis of balance sheet of a firm may be conducted internally or externally. In internal analysis, the analyst is within the firm and the external analyst is outside the firm. Sometimes the government quote agencies or the government officials also analyze the balance sheet. The analysis of balance sheet can be classified as horizontal analysis and the vertical analysis. Let us discuss them in brief. So, horizontal analysis is the balance sheets for a number of years are reviewed and analyzed. We call it horizontal analysis. In vertical analysis, when the analysis, the quantitative relationship between different items of a balance sheet pertaining to one accounting period is worked out, this analysis is useful in comparing the performance of different companies belonging to the same industry. You may recall that the balance sheet shown the financial status of a business at a given point of time. Therefore, as first step in analysis of balance sheet, we should see the information covering the sources of fund. Let us consider what are the contents of a general balance sheet of a firm. The total liabilities like total non-current liabilities, total current liabilities, owner's equity, total equities. Same thing in the assets, that is assets like land, building, plant and machinery, accumulated deposits, inventory, cash, and, the liabilities, that is owner's equity, non-current liability, other current liabilities, wages payable, total equities. So these are the different types of uh, items available in the balance sheet. Now we'll Switch up to profitability analysis. Profitability analysis. It is the next topic, profitability analysis. What do we mean by profitability analysis? A business enterprise sets up its goals and objectives and directs its efforts towards the fulfillment of them. The primary or central objective of different enterprises may be as number one, a business enterprise seeks profits that will provide a socially acceptable rate of return on investment. The second one is a government enterprise attempts to provide services to the citizen as an acceptable cost. A non-profit organization works towards the satisfaction of a general or a specified needs of a society. Now, cost volume profit analysis. In profit planning, the management of a firm seeks to answer the following questions. In the cost volume profit analysis, let us remind once again to you, in profit planning, the management of a firm seeks to answer the following questions. The number one, at what level of activity should the firm be able to sustain? That means how much capacity to have. The second one, what activity level should the firm activity sustain? Which means how much capacity to use. Then third one, what products or services and how much of each should the firm offer? And the last one, the fourth one, what price should the firm charge? Let us now discuss the cost volume profit analysis in detail. There are two approaches for profitability analysis. That is cost volume profit analysis and pro forma income costs volume, pro forma income statements cost volume profit analysis provide information on the relationship among costs, volume, prices and profits. The manager may take the help of cost volume profit analysis to answer these questions. In simple terms, usually CVP helps in deciding at what sales volume would the firm break even. That means what would be the break even point? Break even means no loss, no profit. Then second one, how sensitive is profit to variations in output, selling price, fixed costs and variable costs? How much should the firm produce and sell in order to reach a target profit level? While discussing all these things, we must study about the costs. What means fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost? There are three types of costs: fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Fixed costs are those costs which do not change with variation in the level of output. For example, rent of factory building, property taxes, insurance, depreciation on plant and machinery are the example of fixed cost. Then variable cost. Variable costs in the normal production range usually change in direct proportion to the level of activity. When levels of output increases or decreases, these costs also accordingly increase or decrease. However, if we find the variable cost per unit basis, it remains same. Variable cost generally consists of direct materials, direct labor, that means wages, power, royalties, commissions to salesmen, etc. And semi-variable cost. What is semi-variable cost? Semi-variable costs are the costs which are partly fixed and partly variable. They have a fixed part which does not vary without put changes, and also variable part which changes. That means some part changes and some part not changes. The common example of this type of cost is rentals of a telephone, which has a minimum rent and rent for free calls. After the free calls are exhausted, the charges are levied according to number of calls done. So this is the example of semi-variable cost. Let us discuss regarding assumption of cost volume profit analysis. The simplicity of cost volume profit analysis lies in number of assumptions which should be clearly understood before attempting to analyze the profitability. The following assumptions are made. For example, it is assumed that the behavior of total cost and revenues is always determined with reasonable accuracy. All costs can be divided into fixed and variable costs. Unit selling price is constant. Total fixed cost remain constant. Variable costs change as linear rate. It is assumed that the firm continues to sell a single product or the given sales mix well to unchanged as volume changes over the relevant range. The most important thing in the business is break-even point. Break-even point means where there is no loss or no profit. A break-even point is that level of output where total costs equal to total revenues. At this level of output, the firm neither earns profit nor suffers any loss. This is a point where total contribution is just equal to fixed cost and no profit is earned. This is known as break-even point. Break-even chart. So we have to draw one chart. The break-even point can also be determined using a break-even chart. A break-even chart is shown the relationship between the costs, volume, and profit graphically. Then we'll discuss about margin of safety. Margin of safety, the excess of actual sale over the break-even sale is called margin of safety. Margin of safety can be expressed in absolute terms or in relative form. In absolute term, the margin of Safety is expressed as margin of safety is equal to actual volume of sale minus break-even point sales. That is margin of safety. Utility of break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is considered a very important method of short-term profit analysis. This helps in analyzing the profit at various levels of output. This analysis can be used in a fixed price or reviewing prices. Suppose, for example, the firm decides to lower the selling price, then it also like to know the changes in volume of sale required to match the profit earlier obtained. Now we'll switch over to project formulation and appraisal. What is the objective of project formulation and appraisal? Project formulation. The objective is that we will understand the concept of a project, number one. Number two, know how to source and screen project ideas. Number three, learn how to formulate a project. And number four, understand how projects are appraised by financial institutions. The first one is search for project ideas. A project refers to an investment opportunity which can be analyzed and appraised independently. It refers to a series of activities whose goal is to bring into existence a business organization based on a variable economic opportunity within an established cost and time framework. The basic, characteristic, the basic characteristics of a project are: it involves a current capital investment. It ensures a yield of benefits in the future. It has a specific lifespan and it calls for the teamwork. The members of the team being drawn from various disciplines of management. So this is the source for project ideas. Then screening of project ideas. How to screen it? There are different parts of screening of project ideas. The first one, the organization strength and weaknesses. Project ideas must be compatible with the organization. The number two is adequate market. Every business organization requires a minimum level of business, even break-even point, to be viable. When the market is restricted and cannot allow the organization to reach the break-even point in the near future, the prospects of success are rather limited. Availability of infrastructure. There must be infrastructure like transportation, electricity, water supply, like this. All the infrastructure, building is also an infrastructure. Then availability of essential inputs and labor. The entrepreneur must consider whether there is a regular and assured supply of essential inputs and labor to ensure regularity of operation essential for success of the venture. Then cost constraints, that is the money constraints. If the estimated cost of producing the product or service is comparatively very high in view of the factor like high material cost or labor costs or any related reason, the project idea should be eliminated. So these are the different screening points for screening the project ideas. The last one is risk considerations. Risk considerations, risk labels associated with various projects differ on the basis of the factors like change in technology, changes in fashion, and vulnerability to trade cycles. Then we'll shift over to the topic technical feasibility. Technical feasibility studies are aimed at ensuring that all the physical facilities required for successful implementation of the project are available and the best of the alternative facilities are selected for the project. For this, importance is given to proper location of the enterprise. Second one, selection of appropriate technology. Technology means plant and machinery. Third one is availability of raw materials, resources, and other inputs. Establishing the schedule for project implementation. Then we'll go to for marketing feasibility. We have to search for the market. Otherwise, there is no meaning of the business. Though there is no meaning of the enterprise without marketing feasibility. Marketing is the cornerstone for the success of any business activity. It is rightly pointed out that marketing is the source of revenue for any organization. All other activities involve only any only expenditure. Marketing feasibility studies attempt to determine the size of the market for any product or service and its value in terms of revenue generation. The following aspects form part of marketing feasibility studies. Let us see what are the aspects for the marketing feasibility studies. Locating target market. Target market means the identifiable set of individuals, that is market segments, whose needs are attempted to be satisfied by the product or service of the organization. Then marketing segmentation. We have to divide the different segments, different parts of the market. Determination of market share. Entrepreneurs must try to estimate the demand for their products and services. Then techniques for demand forecasting. Any organization which intends to estimate the present and future demand can depend either on primary data or secondary data. Then let us see what is primary data. Primary data refers to data generated by the organization intending to use it for a specific purpose. Such data can be generated through various techniques. And the techniques are like this. Techniques are studies, market surveys, expert opinion, trend analysis, and correlation analysis. Market surveys to study the market, to gather information regarding the practices or intention of the target market group. Then expert opinion, it is possible to gather relevant informations from various individuals or organizations who have who have gathered enough of experience from the regarding the market segment. Those are the experts. They know about the market, different markets. There are different experts for the different markets. We have to search for the experts. Then trend analysis. Trend analysis, that is the analysis of the past and the past experience. What are the major trends or the demands? Then the last one is correlation analysis. Correlation analysis tries to identify relationships between two or more variables. So that is correlation analysis. The secondary data, that is the primary data, the secondary data refers to the data collected by agencies rather than the organizations intending to use the data. In many cases, it provides the base from which we can develop primary information. Generally, a judicious combination of both primary data and secondary data form the basis of demand forecasting. Then what about the market share? Marketing share. Marketing share can be estimated by studying the marketing practices of competitors and comparative evaluation of the organization's marketing package. This requires the establishment of the price, product or service, distribution policy to be pursued, and sales promotion practice. Then we'll switch over to financial feasibility. How should we will find out financial feasibility? Financial feasibility studies aim to ensure the entrepreneur that the project can meet the burden of servicing the debt. The project can ensure sufficient revenues to pay the interest cost of borrowed funds and meet the schedules for repayment of loans. We are we're studying the project formulation and appraisal. The project can earn sufficient revenues to satisfy the expectation of the owner of the promoting organizations. It covers the following important aspects. Financial feasibility. Then what? Let us discuss what are the different aspects of financial feasibility. The number one is project cost determination. We will have to find out the cost of the project. Then sources of finance. From which source we will accumulate the finance. Then profitability estimates. Sorry. We have to work out the feasible profitability. Then Cash flow estimates. What are the cash flow that we are going to have? We must estimate that. Projected financial position and flows. Then how the project will be formulated and what are the various flows. This is the financial feasibility aspect. We'll discuss about source of finance. That is the most important thing. The cost of project indicates the quantum of long-term finances needed by the organization to implement the project. The need for such funds is made out of equity capital and preference capital and borrowed funds. We have already discussed regarding equity and preferential capital. Then another thing we'll discuss regarding some of the aspects of the projects, that is profitability estimates regarding sales revenue, direct costs and which are involved in it, and salaries, rent, insurance and taxes, etc., repairs and maintenance, depreciation, interest costs, other administrative costs like stationery, legal expenses, auditors' fees, directors' fees, and other such miscellaneous expenditures. Then selling expenditures like incurred on the promotion of the project and sales of the project. Then profits, how much profits we have earned from the different aspects. Then cash flow estimates. Cash flow estimate project the physical movement of the cash into and out of the organization. Profitability estimates are concerned with long-term viability of the project, whereas cash flow estimates deal with liquidity of the organization. The following is basis of the preparation of cash flow estimates. As adjustment to the profit and loss estimate. Adjust to income. Income accrued but not received. Incomes received in advance. Adjustment to expenditure. Outstanding expenditure. Prepaid expenses. Adjustments for depreciation. So these are the cash flow estimates. Then we'll discuss about economic feasibility. Economic feasibility is, it otherwise refers to financial feasibility of the enterprise. Profitability measures the desirability of a project from the point of view of the owner. It is also referred as social cost and benefits analysis. Then techniques of appraisal. How shall we appraise the techniques? Generally, promoters of a project, the promoters of a project approach term lending institution for financing the cost of the project. Like commercial banks are approached for financing working capital needs. However, commercial banks in India also finance project cost subject to certain monetary limits. Such financial institutions appraise the project report submitted by the promoters for taking a decision on financing of the project. These appraisal studies include technical appraisal, marketing appraisal, financial appraisal, economic appraisal, and management appraisal. Then we'll discuss, this is regarding the financial part of the positions. Then we'll discuss about the managerial practices in tourism. That is block number 6, managerial practices in tourism. In block number 1 to 5 course, we have been familiarized with the management concepts and functions. While explaining them, certain examples from tourism services and operations were also cited in block number 6 and 7. In this unit, we'll discuss about tour operators, that is the managerial practices in tourism, that is tour operators. Then what do we mean by tour operators? We have already acquainted with the tour operator. Those A tour operator not only sells a package tour but also ensures the smooth operation of the tour. The management issues in tour operation should be dealt with in following ways. Tasks to be performed for setting up a tour operator company.
No da ya ce in ba da ya ce in ba da 1.5 a'a lokacin ya ce ya mun rage in ba da 1.5 sai nake gaya ma sai kake ce min ka ai gwara dai in cika mai kuɗin sa ko sai muka haka da kai sai je na ba ka wani
Hello, good
Hello.
afternoon. Kabiru, you have to mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Yes. Hello. Is it okay? Okay. Let us see regarding the tour operator. Tasks to be performed for setting up a tour operator company. That is about the setting up of a tour operator company. Then market research and product, that is tour package formalities, selling the product and organizing, monitoring, controlling the organization's activities as well as tour operators, tour operations. So these are the different activities of a tour operator. How to set up a tour operator company? Tour operator is a risky business. This is because a tour operator buys airlines, seats, hotel rooms, etc. much in advance from the principal supplier, and if he or she fails in selling them, there are heavy losses involved because one room is not sold, that is a wastage for the hotel. Therefore, therefore, all companies, whether large or small, must fulfill certain minimum requirements like proper financial base, adequate premises, trained and qualified staff. Thank you. government approvals, and authority to sell on behalf of industry principals in return for commissions. For this, we have to see for the for different aspects, we have to see the different aspects like tourism markets, tourism trends, tourism forecast, promotional strategies, trade linkages, travel regulations, and tourism products. Besides, a tour operator after 1 year of operations must seek recognition from the Department of Tourism, Government of India. He will have to apply in the prescribed form to the Government of India, and he must get the recognition from the Government of India. Then let us know what is the product knowledge and packaging. In today's market, the tour operators also have different kinds of tours and different kinds of tour packages. The number one is mass market operators are those who offer routine packages which include travel, accommodation, and some services. Then specialist tour operators. They design their packages like customized packages and the group tours. The different types of group tours are made to different areas. For example, like IRCTC, Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, they are making many package tours to different destinations in India and abroad in different times of the year. In fact, there is no end to imagination and creativity in designing special tours after analyzing the demand trends and attitudes. Customized tours also tour operators they package the customized tours. For example, the airlines gives a free ticket to the tour operator and the hotel offers free hospitality to him. Then how to cost a tour package? Costing a tour package. How do tour operators make money when they do a costing? The two major methods are increasing markup and making up saving through and buying power. Markup. Our business makes a profit and keeps us in employment by handling as many clients as possible and by making sure that we make a profit on each group of clients in order to ensure that we make a profit. We must first be aware of the total cost of the ingredients of the package to our company, and we must add a markup to that total. A markup is the extra amount which our company can keep so that we can cost the tour of the package. Then buying power. We are also able to increase the amount we make on each group by working to reduce the price at which we buy the services. This has the effect of increasing our margin without increasing the price at which we must sell to the clients. We are in a good position to negotiate in the way when we are able to give our supplier, such as hotel, a lot of business which we have gathered from many wholesalers, or when we are able to persuade our clients to travel or travel at unpopular times, that is off season. For example, we can persuade the travelers, persuade the tourists to travel in off season times so that we can have a good buying power. Net rate. What will be the net rate? That is, this is the price which a supplier charges us and which he wants to be paid by us. That is the net rate. Then gross rate. This is the rate which a supplier quotes us. It includes an amount expressed as a percentage of the gross rate for us. This hidden part for us is usually known as commission. Then profit. It is what a company hopes to have left at the end of the year after all its bills have been paid. Then margin. It is a much it is much the same as markup, but whereas markup tends to be expressed as a percentage, margin tends to be an amount expressed in money. Then the most important thing is that how to reduce the costs. Reduce the number of nights, reduce the included meal plan, reduce the included sightseeing or activities, or use a cheaper hotel. These are the parameters by which we can reduce the cost. Then preparing vouchers. Vouchers, sometimes called exchange orders, are documents which are issued by the travel businesses. They serve instead of endless letters and can be used to make reservations, confirm reservations, and guarantee payments. Instead of writing a legendary booking letter, sending a deposit check, just we can make a voucher in which there will be hotel bookings, meal breaks and tours, transport, guide and representatives, entrance fees to attractions, tolls for roads, bridges or mountain passes, hire of equipment for sports and activities, and many more. Vouchers are usually printed in sets of 4 or more copies, and the distribution of the copies is following. So, how there are different forms of vouchers, different charts, different parameters, like an office client file copy, client's copy, hotel's copy, accounts department's copy. Some companies have a use for a fifth or more copies. Then issuing vouchers. When you issue a voucher, you should keep a record of the voucher number and the client file is belonging to in stock record book, as well as keeping a copy of the voucher in the accounts and clients files. Then the most important thing we have to bear in mind, that is caring for customers, providing quality service. The first one is providing quality service. Remember that many clients may be experienced travelers who must have gathered long-term experiences in traveling, like senior citizens. Some of the senior citizens, they have traveled many times earlier, who will judge your service against their previous experiences. To offer a quality service to every client means being able to maintain high standards and repeat them every time, and involves developing systems and making them work every time. Always acknowledge people when you meet them. Look them in the eyes when you speak. Smile and mean it. Address people courteously and use their name if you know it. Then give a little bit extra. When I went to the tour to book my my trip, he asked me if I preferred a mask with or without side windows, and he also checked whether I had any previous experience like this. Then how to handle the client companies, handling client complaints. Sorry, how to handle the complaints. Many clients, many customers, many tourists, they complain for different things. So first, you will have to deal with feelings and emotions. A simple adjustment or extra service solves the problem. Secondly, we'll also have to deal with the problem. Do take the complaint seriously, even when you think it is exaggerated or unreasonable. This will let your client know that you are prepared to listen and help. In case you are a manager or a supervisor, you must ensure that your employees use these tips for handling client complaints. Then business correspondences. Correspondences in the tour operators, like letters, fax, telex, memo, email. The mail here includes the public post office system, or it could also include a messenger boy and national or international courier service. There are many reasons why we correspond with others, and this can include requesting information, giving information, sales promotion, receiving documents, dispatching documents, receiving payments, and dispatching payments, etc. All incoming correspondences must be handled quickly and correctly in order that the customer bookings are properly processed, and all outgoing correspondences should create a professional image of both yourself and your company. Incoming correspondences means the correspondences which are coming to the tour operator. and you have to see that which are of urgency. Existing client business is the most urgent, then request which may lead to new business. So you have to mark it. Then customer complaints are existing business and will not go away if you put them at the bottom of the pile. Then what are the outgoing correspondence? Outgoing correspondences means those letters or correspondences going out from your tour operator company. So you must check that the correct paper is used. That means letterhead, etc. The letter is formatted correctly. It must have the correct data. It is addressed to the correct person. All information is correct. Double check with all files where are no grammatical, spelling, or typing errors. All questions asked have been answered. The letter is easily understood. The letter is polite and businesslike. Polite. One must be polite. In tourism, one must be extremely polite. The letter has been signed by the appropriate person or authority. The envelope has been addressed correctly. The postage is fixed. The appropriate postage is fixed. The correspondence is dispatched by the most appropriate means according to the urgency. Then mailing and postage. It should be use regular mail costs less. If the correspondence will reach its destination as quick as possible. Speed is essential with all travel related correspondences. Use couriers, office boys for urgent local deliveries. Use registered mail when the correspondence is being sent. Always ensure that the correct and full address is on the envelope. Use fax, email, or telex in place of mail if speed is essential. Send a copy by mail if necessary. It is your responsibility to make sure that the correct amount of postage has been included in the letter. The amount of postage will be determined by the destination of the correspondence, type of mail service selected, regular, airmail, etc., and weight of the correspondence. Internal correspondences. Corresponding with other members of the staff is known as internal correspondences. Dispatching correspondences. The whole office staff should therefore be aware of what time the mail will leave from the office, and ideally this will be about an hour or half an hour before the close of business. Then briefings. The most important thing in tour operator is that briefing the escorts or the tour guide. Escorted tours, this is an organized and planned tour in which a tour escort serves the group or individuals accompanying throughout the tour. Unescorted tours, though organized and planned, in this tour there is no escort correspond. There is no escort accompanying the tour. Instead, the group or individual is taken care of every destination by the tour hosts or excursion agents whose services have been taken for the particular destination. At the same time, you should have a briefing to the driver. The vehicle and driver are vital parts of the tour. Before meeting the tourists, the driver should have checked. It is the duties of the driver. Have checked fuel, water, engine oil, tires, tire pressure, spare wheel at correct pressure, brakes, jack and tools, windscreen wipers, lights, horn, ventilation, heating or cooling, public address system, microphone, fast, first aid kit, windows, paintwork, seats, floor, ashtrays, refreshments, etc. The driver himself should be well briefed. Often, he will have been to the places before and knows the best way. If he is in If he is new, he needs careful help before starting off. The driver's appearance is also important and he should be neatly and cleanly dressed, fresh and clean. He should not smoke, spit, or chew betel aboard the vehicle, and he should not drink alcohol during the tour or come to work spelling of it. Then feedback. You should always be looking for feedback from your clients. Positive feedback. It is always a pleasure to receive the positive feedback. Negative feedback. This should also be carefully attended to. If somebody says we did not enjoy the visit to the temple because it was so hot, what can you do about the weather? Nothing. But on future tours, you could cool the people down by visiting early in the morning, ending parasols for shade, combining the visit with a refreshment break, making sure the bus is waiting with its air conditioning, advising the people in advance so that they will prepare themselves. Then, in the tour operation business, the next item we'll discuss about organizing pickup, transfers, and hotels check-in. In the hotel check-in, organizing pickup. Before starting the tour, before starting the tour, you have to organize the pickup points. You have to locate the pickup points. From which points you will pick up the tourists from the starting locations. And the pickup points should be the places where tourists will feel safe and secure, satisfy physical needs, have intellectual stimulations, and they will be comfortable. Then in all the pickup points, you will brief beforehand, before starting the tour, you will tell them what will be the time of arrival of your coach to that place, expected time of arrival, actual time of arrival. then prepare yourself. Remember that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Your appearance at the airport should thus be highly professional. That means you will be presentable. You should be clean, neat, and very well groomed. You should be wearing a badge which identifies you as the official in charge of your clients. Your clothes should be immaculate in terms of being clean, pressed, and in good repair. If you have a choice of clothing, then think what being well dressed means. What other equipment do you need? At the airport, you need to have the following ready for use: badge, uniform on you, greeting board that you will greet the tourists in the airport, that is the greeting board, name list, you must know who are coming, clipboard and pen, mobile phone or phone card or coins, tip of voucher for porters, transport voucher, hotel voucher, welcome packs and gifts gifts, hotel registration cards, and above all, your smile. When you identify your passenger, name of the missing passenger, name of tour group, place arrived from, easily identifiable meeting points, and ensure this announcement is in the language this passenger speaks. The other important issues in tourism, in the for the tour operator, it is advisable that tour operators sign contracts with their principal suppliers as well as clients regarding the services damages to be claimed, area of jurisdiction in case of legal cases, etc. The tour operators must consult their lawyers and representative body in this regard. So this is regarding tour operators. Now we'll discuss about travel agencies. We have already discussed about travel agencies. Now we'll see what is a travel agency. In this subject, we'll discuss about the procedure for setting up a travel agency, understand the managerial roles in a travel agency, learn how the various concepts and functions of management are applied in travel agency business, and know about the skills required in managing and handling travel agency operations. Travel agency. Travel agency is the link between the traveler and the tourist. Traveler or the tourist on the one side and the principal supplier, that is airlines, hotel, tourist and transport operator, etc. On the other one hand is the tourist, and on the other hand is the principal supplier. It survives on earning commission for travel services rendered to public on behalf of the principal suppliers. The World Tourism Organization or WTO which is an organization under the aegis of the United Nations, has predicted that the worldwide travel industry will double in size on dollar terms over the next 10 years, as by 2010 AD, nearly a billion people a year will be making international trips. It generates $3.5 trillion or 6% of the world GDP in gross output. All this demonstrates that the potential of the industry is enormous. A travel agency, on the one hand, books air tickets, arranges for facilitations, books hotel, plans tours and itineraries, and even arranges foreign exchange and insurance cover. On the other hand, it channelizes business to the airlines, hotels, transport operators, etc. And it is for the service that commissions are paid, varying in percentage on the total amount of the value of the ticket, hotel rooms, charges, etc. Then management tasks. Like any other organization, if you intend to set up and manage a travel agency business professionally, you must apply the management concepts and functions not only planning but also in operations. A travel agency also acts like a travel consultant providing consultancy on issues like when to travel and where, how to travel, where to stay or do shopping, etc. Information regarding rules, regulations, safety, etc. Then travel agency are classified in different ways, in various ways. The distinctions can be made on the basis of their memberships, like that of IATA. IATA is International Air Transport Association. PATA, that is Pacific Area Travel Associations. ASTA, that is American Society of Travel Agents. ABTA, that is Association of British Travel Agents. WATA, that is World Association of Travel Agents. UFTA, United Federation of Travel Agents Association, or TAI, Travel Agents Association of India. Besides these recognitions, they can also be distinguished by the type of business they are in, the services which they offer. The operations and managerial tasks in a travel agency vary according to the nature of the business. However, certain managerial tasks and management functions can be common to all and they emerge out of the job descriptions. Acquiring product knowledge like destinations, airlines. In destinations, one will know the climatic conditions, political situations, special events, and public holidays, customs, culture, and cuisine of countries or destinations, major attractions, health and other hazards, currency exchange rates, travel regulation and documents, and accommodation facilities, etc. Regarding airlines, reservation system, route operation, flight schedule, fares, types of aeroplanes, services offered on board and connecting flights, etc. And the airports, timings, facilities, customs and security regulations, taxes and distances from the city, etc. Surface transportation like rail, road, and water, timetables, connections, fares and car rentals, facilities, reservation system and procedures, and other aspects. In other aspects, like package tours, excurs- excursions, and special interest tours, then you must know the principal suppliers, image of financial standing, services offered, quality of service, and commission offered, etc. Then managing informations. While providing information to the customers, you must ensure that it is current information. Ensuring infrastructure and support services. A travel agency must have telephones, fax, electronic mails, photocopies, and computers. These are essential communication equipment in a travel agency which are needed for requesting information, receiving information, making reservations, confirmations, and transmitting information to clients. Then we'll discuss how to set up a travel agency. How to set up a travel agency. There are many things to know to set up a travel agency. Infrastructural and financial requirements. Approvals from concerned bodies. Recognition from principal suppliers and incentives and benefits. Infrastructural and financial requirements. Buying or hiring of office space, office furniture and furnishings, communication equipments like fax, telephone, Xerox machines, computers, etc. Salaries for the staff and office materials like files, labels, promotional vouchers, brochures, letterheads, etc. Approval by concerned bodies. For example, International Air Transport Association or the IATA, Indian Association of Travel Agents. You have to take the permission from the authorized bodies. Then recognitions and licenses. You have to get the recognition from the Department of Tourism, Government of India, and Reserve Bank of India, along with recognition from the hotels. Hotel recognition. You must take the recognition of the hotels from where the Department of Tourism have already given the recognition to those hotels. Then incentive and benefits. Financial benefits are available under the Section 880 HSD to the travel agents. The Department of Tourism gives prizes for various categories of travel agencies. The Tourism Finance Corporation of India gives loans. The Department of Tourism, Government of India provides brochures, tourism related data, to travel agencies for promotional purposes. The Department of Tourism, Government of India also provide assistance to the travel agencies for participation in tourism fairs, travel marts, and in official promotional delegations. Generally, it is done through Travel Agents Association of India. Then you must know the abbreviations. Some of the abbreviations you must know, like ACK acknowledge, ADV advise, ADVR advise rate, AGT travel agent, ALTN alternative, like this. Then operation management. A well-established travel agency would have various departments such as ticketing. Ticketing may be internal or domestic. Tours including outboard and domestic, and other facilities, hotel booking, etc. Tickets are accountable documents and they must be stored securely. Travel agents are responsible for the cost of any transportation undertaken with such tickets. If these tickets fall into the wrong hands, travel can be taken by an unauthorized person and the agency will be billed for the travel. Tickets and validators must be locked away and should only be issued by those staff authorized to do so. Then airline ticket format. When a ticket comes out of the safe, it looks like a book of coupons. Each copy has a separate function. Every airline ticket will have the following: audit coupons, flight coupons, agent coupons, passenger coupons, etc. Airline tickets contains such pre-printed information as conditions for the contract, details of the limits of the airline's liability, reconfirmation requirements, and its and items which may not be carried on board to the aircraft. When issuing tickets, when issuing tickets which are completed manually, printed from a computer reservation system, everyone should use only block capital letters. Make sure that the handwriting is clear and readable. Make sure that the information is clear on all coupons. Use a blue or black ballpoint pen with a fine nib. Write the ticket in English. Never cross out anything on a ticket. If a mistake is made in filling out a ticket, cancel it by writing void across the whole ticket and send it back to the airline. And never destroy an airline ticket even if mistakes are made during completion. Then manual completion of checking of air ticketing. You need to learn exactly what must appear in every box. You should check the name of the passenger. First, you must check the name of the passenger. Then check the cities, then maximum baggage allowances. Experienced passengers are often shocked by the cost of carrying excess baggages. Many clients have airlines they have particularly like or dislikes, ensures that they have got reservations with the right one. Note that there are always two digits in a date and three letters in the month abbreviations. Check the time of departure of the flights. Check the time of departure of the flights. Note that the times are always shown as local timings and arrival times do not appear on the ticket, so you must also supply them to the client on an itinerary. Check the status column giving details of the reservations. This will have been writing using the following codes. Okay, this seat reservation has been confirmed by the airline. RQ, this seat reservation has been requested by has not been confirmed by the airline. NS, this code is used to indicate that the passenger, normally an infant, is not entitled to sit on board the aircraft. SA, this code is used to indicate that a certain rule which applied to a particular fare does not allow the seat to be reserved in advance. In the column titled Additional Endorsement and Restrictions, details of any restrictions, endorsements, or reimbursements are written fully. Certain fares rules may indicate restrictions on the date of flights to be taken by travelers. This column, not valid before, should be completed to indicate such dates. The fare must be clear and the ticket designator should be there. Then we will see for the travel vouchers. In all travel agencies, services are ordered from suppliers. Services are ordered from suppliers. These services will be sold onto the travel agent's customers. If each transaction that takes place between an agency and a supplier were to be paid for separately, for each and every service provided, for each and every customer, the amount of paperwork and the amount of cash moving around would be enormous. To cut down on the amount of paperwork and money transactions between the supplier and the agency, a system has been devised whereby these transactions are reduced. Okay. Then we'll see the finances. More and more travel agencies are adopting financial management in their operations. It is essential for travel agency managers to understand the processes, procedures, and programs of financial management. We have discussed them at a great length in Unit 15 of this course. Then rules for recognition as approved travel agency with effective from 6/4/1992. The aims and objectives of the scheme for recognition shall be to promote tourism in India. This is a voluntary scheme open to all bona fide travel agencies. A travel agency is one which makes arrangements of tickets for travel by air, rail, ship, passport, visa, etc. It may also arrange accommodation, tours, entertainments, and other tourism related services. All applications for recognition shall be addressed to the Director General of Tourism, Transport Bhavan, number 1 Parliament Street, New Delhi. The following conditions must be fulfilled by the travel agency for grant of recognition by Department of Tourism. The application for grant of recognition shall be in the prescribed form. The travel agency has a minimum paid-up capital of rupees 2 duly supported by latest audited balance sheet or the chartered accountant's certificate. The travel agency should be approved by International Air Transport Association or general sales agent of an IATA member airlines. The travel agency has an office under staff who is adequately trained or experienced in matters regarding transport, accommodation, currency, customs, regulations, and general information about travel and tourism related services. The travel agency has been in the operation for a minimum period of 1 year before the date of application. The travel agency is an outcome task assessee and has filed income tax return for the current assessment year. The recognition as travel agency once granted shall continue unless withdrawn subject to their continuance in this business and they are submitting the requisite annual return of the income tax and other particulars. The travel agency will be required to pay a non-refundable one-time fee of rupees 1,000 which while applying for the recognition. The fee will be made payable to the Pay and Accounts Officer, Department of Tourism, on the form of bank draft. The fee per recognized of each branch office will be rupees 500. Recognition will be granted to the headquarters office, to tour operators. Branch offices will be approved along with the headquarters office or subsequently, provided the particulars of the branch office are submitted to Department of Tourism and accepted by it. The decisions of the Department of Tourism, Government of India, in the matter of recognition shall be final. The Government of India may, in their discretion, refuse to recognize any firm or withdraw or withhold at any time recognition already granted without assigning any reason. Travel agency recognition shall be entitled to such incentives and concessions as may be granted by government from time to time and shall abide by the terms and conditions of recognition as prescribed from time to time by the Department of Tourism, Government of India. Then application form for recognition of approved travel agency, name and address of head office and branch offices, nature of the firm and the year when the firm was registered or commenced business with documentary proof, name of the directors, partners, etc., the details of their interests, if any, in other business may be indicated, give particulars of staff employed, their qualifications, experiences, salary, and length of service with the firm, name of the bankers. Please attach a reference from your banker. Name of the auditors. These are the details to be provided while applying for the travel agent. Then the next one we'll discuss in this context. The main thing is the hotel. Regarding hotels, we are discussing with what is the concept of a hotel, what are the issues in hotel management, functions of major departments in the hotels, and relationships between tourism and hotels. Hotel is looked as home away from home, or some term it as a refuge from home. It not only provides accommodation to a guest but also takes care of his or her certain other needs. In other words, we can say hotel as a place of stay where bona fide customers can stay, get food, entertainment on payment of usual charges. It ranges in India, it ranges from 1-star to 5-star hotels in hospitality industry. 3-star or 1-star, etc. This classification is based on the type of facilities, infrastructure, and services offered by the hotels. Hotels can be classified according to room charges, that whether it is a budget room or luxury room, purpose of guest stay, like resort, business, length of stay, whether transit house or residential. There are individual hotels as well as hotel chains. The companies with hotel chains give due regard to their individual hotel units from the point of view of profit making or managing. Hotel management is defined as the process of planning, organizing, monitoring, and controlling the activities of a hotel for achieving the stated objectives of the organization. It is an ongoing effort and not a one-shot management effort. So long the hotel is functioning, its management function never stops. It would be of use, therefore, to know the management and functions of the hotels. It must be remembered that each function in a hotel requires managerial attention, and it is not possible to deal with all these specialized functions in this unit, in one unit, because there are many functions of the hotel. Hotels has four departments, that is food production, food and beverage service, front office, and housekeeping. The unit begins with a general discussion on hotel management. It attempts to explain how the management functions as applicable in hotel operations. So in all these four departments, that is food production, front office, and housekeeping, how the management is being done, how the management is being done in all these departments. Some basic issues. We'll discuss some basic issues of the hotel. That is planning. The process of setting a hotel's goals and objectives and developing the most appropriate strategies to achieve them. Then organizing, devising a structure that assigns specific tasks to individuals within the hotel, provides for coordination of activities between different groups, and sees to the hiring and training of staff to carry out the assigned tasks. Then directing. Directing, it is a process of leadership that motivates the hotel staff to perform the tasks necessary to achieve the hotel's goals and objectives. Controlling, the process of monitoring, evaluating, and providing corrective actions to the activities of the hotel in order to ensure that its overall goals and objectives are met. However, there is a definite interrelationship among those four, and they are interdependent. That means all these four, planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, all these are interdependent. However, it is apparent that the managerial role in the hotel include managing human resources, that is, employees' activities, physical resources, those are hotel facilities, and hotel finances. So, hotel management as a goal drives activity, and the success of a hotel is to be measured in relation to the achievement of its goals through the activities of its managers and employees. Though what are the main functions of the hotel? We'll see it. What are the main attributes of a hotel? We'll see. Hotels are operational 24 hours a day. That means 24 into 7. It works for 24 into 7. The rate of occupancy varies on day to day or season to season basis. This meant that though the product is being maintained, used, and consumed all the time, the earnings or profits are not there all the time. The nature of service is very personal because every guest will be considered as a special guest. The product image is dependent and built over the collective efforts of the different hierarchical layers. For example, a good front office service has to be matched by room service, housekeeping, or restaurant services. Problems the problems has to be sorted out immediately. Like any other tourism product or service, the hotel product is not storable, and in case of non-use, it is perishable. If the hotel room is not sold for a day, it is wasted. It has gone wasted. Setting and maintaining service standards is a major challenge, and the hotel business is highly competitive. Hotel business is highly competitive. It must be noted here that the characteristics are applicable not in case of big hotels only. To a large extent, they are relevant for all segments of the lodging and accommodation units like guest houses, resorts, low budget hotels, lodges, etc. The managerial roles and functions will be different as per the organizational structure and the various departments in a hotel. A small unit may not have many departments, and more than one managerial functions may be performed by a manager or a owner. Some of the common issues that need managerial attentions are guest service. Guest service should be proper, and guest service will encourage for the repeat business. If the customer is satisfied, he will come repeatedly, he will come time and again, and the profitability in the long run depends to a large extent on such business. The third one is the skills of the staff. The quality of guest services depends on the knowledge and skills of the service serving staff. A manager must recruit qualified staff, train them as per the hotel's requirements, coordinate their operations, monitor their job activities, and motivate them all. Above all, he should motivate all the staff. At the same time, taking care of the staff needs is most because a satisfied staff would provide better service. Then we have to see for the seasonality. We will see for the seasonality. At many destinations, the business is seasonal. That means in different seasons, the manager faces the challenge of making maximum profits during the strong demand period and minimizing cost during the weak demand period. Okay, this is for today and we shall continue tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.